I'm going to start on this video, which I found so infuriating. Deb, did you say this is from Portland? This one, the top with SOT 11? It's from Oregon. We don't know if it's Portland, but obviously there's chaos in Portland from these anti-ICE protesters. This is a video for the listening audience of a leftist woman in her SUV trying to box in an ICE agent who's trying to pull out of his parking spot to go chase bad guys. And she and her band of leftists make it as difficult as they humanly possibly can for this guy to go do his job. And she narrates it. Watch this, SOT 11. See her blocking him in.
We can play. My car's bigger than yours.
We can play.
ICE! It's
Blocking
ICE!
him.
Please help me record. Get behind them if you have a car. If you have a car, please pull behind them. It's ICE. Can you pull behind them? It's ICE. They're trying to kidnap people. Please pull behind them. Please pull behind them and park. Please.
And somebody
Please
does
park
it.
behind them. Can you put your car behind them, please? It's ICE. Put your car there. They're gonna move. Hurry, please. Hurry. Park your car sideways, please.
The ICE agent's trying to get out. He's backing up, doing little three-point turns, trying to curve out of this. He gets out, but gets blocked again. She speeds up behind him to block the rear of his truck.
Dumb bitches. You're not going anywhere. We have them blocked in, but we need more cars. Look at these losers. 2, 3. 2 of them in the car.
Unfortunately, we don't get to see the end of it, Jesse, which I seriously hope involves some pepper spray and some handcuffs. But this is what they're doing to our ICE agents who have families, who are out there literally arresting child molesters and taking them off the streets. And this woman's calling them dumb bitches and mocking them and taunting them and encouraging her fellow leftists to prevent them from arresting the bad guys in her community. What do you make of what's happening right now?
There's just so much to get into, Megan, when it comes to all this. First, we have to set something aside, and I hate to even do that because you and I could sit and riff on this for hours, and I know it's something you talk about. Let's set aside the paid and organized portion of this. We do have to understand what a large percentage of communist street activism in this country is paid for and organized. It's not organic. It's not always, some just naive soccer mom coming out and who watches too much television. So many of these people, at least the ringleaders, are paid and organized. They organize these acts of resistance online. Billionaires, foreign and domestic, pay for these things. That's why they show up with freshly printed signs right away. So we have to kind of set that part aside. Let's deal with the people who are actually genuine, and maybe that walking ad for antidepressants is genuine. Let's just assume for a moment she is. I actually, and people are going to find this funny because I'm known to be such a jerk, I actually feel a lot of sympathy for her. And I feel sympathy for that 37-year-old street animal who just got killed by ICE and of course, her wife and everything. And the reason I feel sympathy is because so many of these people are just simply stupid, or they're drug addicted, or come from broken homes. Broken people generally is what you will find in these street protests. You don't find happy, well-to-do people from solid families, good two-parent homes. You go to church on Sunday. You don't generally find those kinds of people. If you sift through the rubble that is a communist street animal protest, it's the dregs of society every time. It's every scumbag and criminal and nut job you can find. And I actually find what Democrats in the media do to these people, to their minds, I find it to be extremely, extremely evil, on par with picking on the special needs kid in high school. Everyone had some evil scumbag in their school who would do something like that. I'm not even trying to be funny. Everybody knows there was one kid who was so cruel he would do it and he would think it was funny. That's what Democrats do to their base all the time with the relentless loop of lies you see on CNN and everything else. Nazi Gestapo, Nazi Gestapo. Then you see that stuff, Megyn. Everybody watching, listening right now sees that stuff, hears that stuff, they roll their eyes. But to somebody who's broken and drug addicted and lost, they hear these things and they believe them, and they get themselves spun up to the point that you'll drop your kid off at daycare and then go out and try to run over an ICE agent and, oh, now I'm dead and I won't ever see the age of 38. I find it to be incredibly sad, and I find it to be incredibly evil. The Democrat Party is the party of evil in this country. As much as I despise Republicans most of the time, they really are the party of Satan. The Democrats are. It drives me insane.
Mm-hmm. Gosh, you're not wrong. I saw somebody saying the other day about the woman, the 37-year-old woman, Renee, who tried to run over that cop, obviously, that she might actually not have known that ICE is arresting murderers and child molesters. She genuinely might not have known that. She might have thought that they were there as some sort of militia meant to just arrest American citizens and deport them. Because if you get your news from NPR, for example, or MS Now, that's probably how you'd walk away looking at this. I mean, just today, there's an example of the New York Times headline and the Washington Post headline on this case, you know, of this woman being shot to death, this 37-year-old. And it paints it all in the most sympathetic, misleading way. Hold on. Is this, I want to find the actual headline. I think we have it made. They try to suggest that this is just this, you know, sweet lady. Here it is. New York Times by Kenneth Vogel. A New York Times analysis of footage from 3 camera angles shows that the motorist was driving away from, not toward, a federal officer when he opened fire. And then the Washington Post headline. ICE agent was not in the vehicle's path when he fired at driver, video shows. Oh, well, shockingly, my eyes show something very different, Jesse. But if you are one of these leftists who relies on WAPO or New York Times for your news, you have a very different impression of what went down that day.
That's what's so frustrating about what you just said, what we just talked about, Megyn, is think about the Democrat in your life. Everybody watching and listening has a Democrat somewhere in their life. I always refer to them as a liberal Aunt Peggy, but who knows? It may be your brother, maybe who knows? And think about this. Think about this.
I have an Aunt Peggy, but she's not that liberal.
Sorry, Peggy. But think about this. Ask, or at least think about the Democrat in your life, and think if they believe that Donald Trump, just as an example, called Nazis at Charlottesville very fine people. Think about that. Think about the Democrat in your life, and think if they believe that Donald Trump told people to inject themselves with bleach. Now, the reason I brought up those two things is both of those things are available on video, what he actually said. The Democrat line, the communist line, is an outright lie, and it's not like you have to take Megyn's opinion on it or my opinion on it. You can pick up your phone. Everyone's holding one right now. You may be listening to this show on your phone, and you can watch what he actually said. Easily verifiable on video. And yet the vast majority of Democrats in this country, because they live in a world of make-believe that is constructed for them by the communist elites in this country, they believe something that is an outright verifiable lie, not subject to opinion whatsoever. We are dealing with people who are, by all accounts, insane. And I'm not saying that to just be insulting, although I'm totally fine to insult these animals. I'm saying that because we have to understand what we're dealing with. If I covered myself with peanut butter...
Can't be reasoned with.
Yeah, they can't. If I got naked and covered myself with peanut butter and attached wings to my back and went up to the ceiling of this roof here and tried to jump off, you would call me crazy because I believe I can fly, and I cannot fly. It's verifiable I can't fly, but I believe all the way I can fly. You would look at me and you would say, this person is insane. He probably can't be reasoned with. He needs professional help. I need to keep my distance, whatever. But you would not say, I just need to have a conversation with him. Well, that has become our political discourse in this country because the people on the left reside in a world of complete lies that is reinforced day after day after day by Democrats and the communists in the media. And we're at a place where just normal people, you don't have to be some hardcore right-winger like me, normal people are frustrated because you talk to these people and it's like you're talking to a rabid Wolverine or something like that. They're not even human beings anymore, and their eyes are bugged out. I don't know how we deal with it, Megyn, but we have to understand that's what we're dealing with. I
was just telling the audience, I think yesterday or the day before, that my therapist, God love him, he always says, stay away from crazy,
Yeah.
which is a very funny line from a therapist. But it's true. Stay away from crazy. And like the problem for these ICE officers is they have no choice but to get right up in the face of crazy. You know, these officers didn't want to have to deal with this woman who ran over, they tried to, this officer, and did hit him, notwithstanding what you read in the Washington Post and the New York Times. They didn't want to deal with her, but she came into this area. She parked her car perpendicular to the oncoming traffic of the road. And then it is their job to remove her so that others are safe and so that they can do their job, which is to pass. That's how this confrontation unfolded. And while others kept telling us that that's not true, she was just there as a legal observer, which is a lie. She was a wannabe poet. And I'm sorry, but not a good one. She was no legal observer. She was there as a paid agitator, or not paid. She might have been paid for all I know, but she was there as an agitator to be the lead, we were told by an eyewitness, in antagonizing ICE. A new year means new financial goals, like making sure your savings are secure and diversified. Will this be the year you decide to talk to someone from Birch Gold Group? They use an educational approach with a deep understanding of macroeconomics. There are forces pushing the dollar lower and gold higher, which is why they believe every American should own physical gold. So until January 30th, if you're a first-time gold buyer, Birch Gold is offering a rebate of up to $10,000 on qualifying purchases. To claim eligibility and start the process, you just text MK to the number 989898. Birch Gold can help you roll an existing IRA or 401k into an IRA in gold, and you are still eligible for a rebate of up to $10,000. Consider making right now your first time to buy gold and take advantage of a rebate up to $10,000 when you buy before January 30th. Text MK to the number 989898. Claim your eligibility today. Again, text MK to 989898. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.